So now, all right, so let's talk about Black Desert, because that's what we were talking about before the podcast started. Sora, go look up images. Just type in Black Desert, and just go on Google Images and just look at like this character creator.
Watch.
Like
You'll just find like images of this like black Venezuelan beach.
Like.
So
Black volcanic sand.
God.
Wow, this is an MMO?
Apparently, like there's a part. So like I'm trying to save up money for a PC, and one of the reasons that I kind of want to get it is because it's like this, like the character creator looks really good, and then I saw some combat gameplay, and it looks really solid. Like it looks.
Why have I not heard about this?
It looks pretty good.
Like, I had a few friends who were like super excited for it like 2 years out.
I think it's because
it ever got released.
I think it's because it like was made in like 2014.
Yeah, initial release date 2014.
And like
this, like, whoa.
Exactly.
This looks really good.
I think part of it is because it is a Korean MMO.
Oh. Like, what the hell's the implication about that? Like,
I heard. Like, I've heard buzz about Blade and Soul even. That's a Korean MMO as well, right? You know?
Yeah.
This, like, looks too good to be true. Like, these look like bull shots.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like...
I came across it the other night, and I just wanted to bring it up because it seems really cool. Also, everyone, welcome to podcast episode 8.
Hey, whoa, hi there.
Oh, it's 8 already.
Yeah, we're at 8, believe it or not. So, for those of you who don't know, here's some channel news for you. Josh is essentially just like a part of this now. Like, he went from being a guest for it's 1 week, and now he's just here. Like, he's the guy who was hard on his luck, and so you will let him sleep on your couch for a couple days, and now you're like,
you can't get rid of me.
You're the Alan to my Charlie Harper. Like, that's how this works now, apparently. Welcome to the channel, Josh.
Oh boy.
Yay!
Whoa.
So celebrating tonight, I'm going to be drinking some white rum. And
oh, that's great.
Man, I know. Because I just had to remind myself that Josh is going to be a permanent member of our channel again. So, anyways, hey everyone, just so you guys are aware, Wednesday and Saturday this week we will be doing a stream. On Wednesday we're going to be doing Wonderful 101, which is a fantastic game. It's so good.
I still need to play it. That's like my one big huge gap in my platinum library. I need to play that game.
Did you play Korra?
I tried it and I didn't like
it. It's way more solid than people give it credit for.
Sure.
I'm sure. I mean, there's no story, but like,
yeah. Honestly, the thing that turned me off was the animated cutscenes. That's really what, like, I was like, this is just not up to the show's quality.
It feels like one of those like THQ games from when we were like kids.
Yeah, yeah.
But like also, Wonderful 101 is like a fantastic game. Sora, you should join the stream that night.
Okay.
And watch that. So because we're gonna be playing from like level 1 to whatever. So and then if people like it, we'll do it again. And then on Saturday, I think we're doing more Overwatch shenanigans. But soon we're gonna be trying to get Catherine started up.
Oh, Catherine. Oh,
we need to finish Catherine, and like we can't do it on the channel because that playthrough is like fucked.
Are you guys gonna start where you left off, or just start from the beginning?
It is like a thing we've talked about on the channel like 1,000 times. Catherine's our cursed playthrough. Like, we tried it. Essentially what it boils down to is if we do it again, I'm gonna be the one that's piloting.
Okay. Because
it's a little easier for me to talk and play at the same time. And then we're gonna have alcohol, and we're just gonna call it the Stray Sheep, and it's because that game gets super depressing really fast.
Yeah, man.
That game gets like really, really fucked real fast.
Especially when like I'm like getting closer and closer to Vincent's age, and I'm like, oh god.
Oh no, it's so
this.
real. It's so Vincent.
Yeah.
Vincent's like 28 or 32, like one of those.
Let's hope he's 32, because I can't emotionally deal with the fact that I'd be only 5 years away from Vincent.
Oh, dude, that game came out in like 2009 or something. So like, it's a super good game. But anyways, the point is we're gonna be doing Overwatch on Saturday, I think. But we're gonna really try hard, because if we can get 101 to work, then it should be easier to get the other game setup. It should be easy to get Catherine set up. It's gonna take some like jerry rigging though, because I think I lost the cord that connects to the PS3.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure I took it on a trip once and to like a con, and I just forgot it. Anyways, so there's that to look forward to, guys. The podcasts, just so you are aware, I know normally we're on a little bit more of a strict schedule, but as you can clearly tell, there's been some problems with our uploads and working and stuff, and I just got over the surgery and then immediately had a cold. So,
illnesses.
It's good to eat again, but I was sick. So, the podcasts are going to be anywhere from Monday to Wednesday, so I'm sorry that I can't give you a more concrete day, guys, but, you know, it's whatever. So, you guys will still get your videos, and that's awesome, and you guys are the best fans ever. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the channel news for this week.
Okay. All right, cool.
Let's get into our shortened versions of the weeks, because weeks tend to take like an hour.
Yeah.
we gotta cut that down.
We'll keep it abridged.
All right. So tell you what, who wants to go first this week?
We've done a bridge series before. We can do this.
Oh my god, that's real. That's so real.
Let's see. I mean, I guess I can start with my weekly Final Fantasy XIV check-in.
Yeah.
This weekend in particular.
What's your name of your character?
The name of my character. All right, in full weeb mode, activate. His full name is Agata Hanamura. And yeah, he's an Aura, like a dragon person. What?
Nothing. It's like an inside Final Fantasy XIV joke.
About what?
Auras are weebs.
Are they all weebs? Oh, that's great.
Guy auras are like super weeby because most of them have like the Saiyan hair.
Yeah, I mean, their hairstyles are all out of whack. And so then I looked up lore-appropriate Aura names, and they were all, like, Japanese names. So I was like, all right, I'll just go full weeb then. So, you know, I didn't feel too bad about that. Yeah, it's going well. I think I'm level 47 now. So I'm getting close to 50, so I can be a Dark Knight soon.
Good.
I'm so excited.
Fulfill Cecil Harvey's goddamn destiny.
Yes! And I'm liking the story now. The story's getting more active. Is it okay? Do you want me to talk about spoilers or keep it generic or what? I don't know.
I go ahead. Worst case scenario,
Okay,
guys,
like,
just skip about like 2 minutes or so.
Well, it'll be fine. No, I'll keep it brief. But I'm just getting to the point where we rescued Minfilia. And then we just found out that Thancred's been possessed by the Ascian, whatever.
Ascian, yeah.
Ascian, yeah. So I was like, oh shit, well things are actually happening now, and these are characters that I weirdly care about now. I didn't think that was going to happen, but okay.
Yeah, that's super real.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, the story's getting more involved. I unfortunately, as soon as things are starting to get good, I just hit a wall where I was level 46, and then like, okay, great, all this crazy shit happened, and we're ready to, you know, get a plan together to go fight the Garlean Empire, and you gotta be level 49 for the next quest. I'm like, fuck!
Yeah.
So I had to grind through like 3 levels. I was just grinding out fates right before this with my friends, just trying to get to level, like, I think I leveled up once. Oh, it just takes so long. I just, you know, this is like my podcast game. I just have something else going on the second monitor and like half pay attention to grinding out fates and whacking people with my axe.
If it makes you feel any better, that's essentially like when I was really into 14, that's exactly what I did. I would like, I had a subscription to Funimation and they have dubs for anime. And I kind of just did it that way. Like,
there you go.
I see. So if we want to get you to watch anime again, we just need to get you a sub for FF14.
It's so fucking relaxing to just grind and have that on. Like,
yeah, relaxate's one word for it.
But like,
but I'm having a good time. I'm pumped to get to level 50. I'm pumped to get to end game. Well, I should say base end game content, and then to Heaven's Ward content.
Dude, you're gonna care about these characters a lot more than you want to.
Yeah, I kind of spoiled myself and looked up Thancred, and I saw what he looks like in Heaven's Ward, and I'm getting some real Riku vibes going on. So I'm like, all right,
he's so
I'm
fun.
in.
It feels like Nomura took over for like half a second.
Guys, we don't have a Riku character in here. We got to fix that.
And then everyone
What
on
are you doing
staff
here?
is like eating a sandwich, and they look at him like, "Who let you in here, Nomura?"
Aren't you supposed to be working on, like Final Fantasy 15? Get out.
Yeah, what happened to Versus?
You're supposed to be making us our money.
Shut up.
I like the fact that like Versus 13 is not just the butt of all the jokes for Nomura. Like, you just have to hang it over his head.
I don't no offense to people who are like still like genuinely excited for that game, but like it's been like 10 years.
I'm just curious at this point, morbidly curious.
I feel like if you like, what gets me
Versus,
like, I can understand why
like,
people are into it because it's like they're still pushing it and it's a completely different thing now. But like, when I remember being hyped for that like 10 years ago.
Yep.
And now we're here.
So many 30-second AMVs made from that one trailer.
Rip my heart into pieces. This is my last resort.
So many Linkin Park, yeah, exactly. I like that trailer, that original E3 trailer, 2006 trailer is like forever ingrained in my brain. Because I've seen it so many different times.
It's so real.
You know what I mean?
It's so fucking real. And like,
I'm very pumped for it though.
Honestly, I think the thing is that I don't see anything aesthetically the same from that trailer in 15
No, you're
now.
right. That's true. I mean, they kept his design mostly intact, Noctis's. In fact, I think I like his new outfit a little better. It's less, it's all black still, but like it's like
more realistic and not like anime.
I mean, he's at least like, this sounds weird, but at least he's showing some skin, and so he's not just like full like Matrix wannabe guy. You know what I mean? Like at least like, okay, like he's wearing just a shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, if the game's been
normal.
in development long enough that it needs like a refit for the character design stuff.
Yeah, a design refresher. Yeah.
That's
they look at like Nomura art and they're like, okay, we need to like tone this down a little. Like we need to like.
It's been like.
Maybe
how
they
long
only need
since
2
the last
belts
Kingdom
instead of
Hearts?
7.
And Nomura like takes his hand and just like punches through a desk, and he's just like no, and like I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I pre-ordered my copy. It's gonna come in. I have a version.
It will happen one day
of the game. It's just It's not even that I want to play it anymore, and I feel like that's kind of where I am on it. Like it feels like to those who were in it 10 years ago and are still in it, congratulations. Like you're gonna get what you want, but I don't know.
Is that like an actual congratulations or like
no?
an Evangelion?
I know it doesn't sound like it, but it's a genuine congratulations because I don't think I could do that. Like
right. I don't know. I think I managed to put my hype in cryostasis somehow. Like after like it became apparent that okay, Versus 13 is never coming out, and so like I just kind of became numb to any sort of like every single interview with Nomura, he just was like we're still working on it. Yeah, it's coming along.
It's like
great.
every time you see something for The Last Guardian.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't The Last Guardian also coming out like this year?
It is.
This is the end of the world, guys. We're actually getting these games. Well, Final Fantasy versus 13 or versus 13. Final Fantasy 15 is the Duke Nukem of Square Enix.
Well, yeah, I think No Man's Sky really set the tone for hype. I think there's a lot of people that are just kind of really clenching their not clenching their fists, but like holding their breath for Final Fantasy 15, and it's like they're thinking I don't know. I feel like
I don't know. I feel like people have been burned by the hype train a lot before this already.
Oh, that's true. But still, like even then, there hasn't been, I feel like, a spectacular explosion of a hype train as much like in recent memory as much as No Man's Sky was. You know what I mean?
Like I still remember like Evolve and like Titanfall.
Even
and,
then, Titanfall. So with Evolve, like even then, like people were already getting pissed off about the DLC stuff before it came out. And then with Titanfall,
like it would cost like $30 for like the DLC or some shit.
Mm-hmm. So well, the thing is with Evolve, they added so much pre-order DLCs that it was really confusing to navigate the marketplace for it. Like you look at the Steam page for it was ridiculous. Like it was like there's like 8 different versions of Evolve you could buy, and then so like they were peddling it as a $60 game, right, base game, but they had microtransactions like it was free to play. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. So recently it relaunched as a free to play game, and people are liking it now. Apparently, like it has its own small little niche fan base, and I hear it's doing well. I haven't played a second of that game.
What's happening to all
so.
those people who paid $60 to buy it?
Yeah,
I think they got like some super special awesome version of the account. Like I think they hooked those guys up.
I would hope
like, hey,
so, because that would just be bullshit. Like
that's usually how these things go.
Because that's the one thing that I always kind of feel weird about, and not to like. Obviously we're way off track, but like
I mean, it's whatever.
Legend of Korra, when that game came out and like people were buying that game for like $40, and then like I think it was literally like almost 2 weeks later it was just worth like $15 or $20. Like that was real, and like the people who got like the game for like $40 were just like, oh.
I mean that's why you wait. That's why I don't pre-order games anymore. You know, just like even if it's really highly anticipated, like there's always that small percent chance that's
like
gonna suck.
Waiting for MMOs to go free to play.
I will say this: I have pre-ordered more games this year than I think I have like ever. Like admittedly, because like I got Persona 5. I have.
Oh yeah, actually, Persona 5 I did pre-order. Shit, I pre-ordered the special edition.
I have.
Atlas hasn't burned you yet.
Oh no! Nope. Like that's the one thing. See, that's the difference. When Square Enix tells me that they're postponing and they're pushing the game back to like make the game perfect for 15, there's a part of me that's like, you can polish a turd all you want. If it's gonna turn out to be a turd, it's gonna be a turd. Like that's essentially that's the mentality I have at this point for Enix. But when Atlas tells me they're pushing the game back to make sure the game looks amazing and great, and then they release trailers and show us cool stuff happening and everything stylistically cool and aesthetically amazing, and then they release like an animated short that's better than Kingsglaive. Daybreakers is amazing. I haven't
watched it yet. I heard there were spoilers. I don't know.
It essentially spoils like what the game's kind of about. Like that's one of the things that they've been kind of like thrown here and back, like what exactly you're going to be doing. But like Daybreakers is really good. It's for a 24-minute advertisement for the game. It is a really solid piece of anime. Like, okay. I think you can watch it on Crunchyroll. And the funny thing is, one of the fans, I think it was like White Tiger, asked us if we watched it yet or not. And the minute I went on to the next stream on Saturday, I was like, dude, White Tiger, I watched it. It's amazing. It's so good.
All right, I'll check it out then.
I'm overhyping it like fuck, but I think it's because it's like
the only reason I didn't want to watch it was because I thought it was spoilery, but I guess not. So I'll go check it out. I think back to the whole pre-ordering thing. I think Persona 5 is also a special case in that this is kind of the first time in a really long time that a game this huge has such a wide release gap between Japan and America, right? So like at the very least, like if somehow Persona 5 is coming out like this week in Japan, right?
Oh my god.
So if it comes out and it sucks, like we're gonna know that it sucks. You know what I mean? Before the pre-orders ever hit.
That's really valid, actually. But I think the thing with the thing is, I don't, even if it turns out it sucks, I think I'm still gonna keep my pre-order because I
might too.
It's that sad truth of the matter that's like when me and you were younger, right? We were really into Final Fantasy, and when 13 came out, I remember not having a PS3 and being like, oh man, I wish I could play 13. And I love 13, but I'm willing to admit it's a piece of shit. Like, everyone has that one game that they really like that's just kind of bad, and it's fine.
I guess. I think 13's better than most people give it credit for. I just think it's not a good Final Fantasy game.
I think that it's a good game. I just think that it's not a good Final Fantasy. Like,
okay, so we're in agreement.
Like, I even have my own stupid theory. When a game does well, but it's a sequel to something that like maybe it wouldn't fit genre-wise, I just call it the Final Fantasy 13 syndrome. Like, it's just mismatched. Like, the thing is, when we were younger, we were really into Final Fantasy, and like I had all this faith in every release of Final Fantasy, and then this happened with 15, and I'm backing away because in the last like 5 years I got super into Persona. Well, not even 5 years. For the last like almost 8 years, I got really into Persona.
I think Persona is going to do much better in Japan than Final Fantasy will.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind, because with Final Fantasy, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful. It looks fun. It's Persona is just a better idea, I think. Like people love doing the medieval thing, and it's not my cup of tea, but sure, you know, I say that, and Final Fantasy is one of my favorite fucking games.
Yeah. But
like when I look at everything that's happening in 15 and how barren the world kind of looks at times, and how this is gonna sound bad. It's just, I look at the landscape, and I look at the world, and I look at everything about it, and it's like a lot of games do this, and it's just this thing where it's like they just look kind of the same, and it kind of just blurs in my mind like which landscape is which. But the best part about game like Persona 5 especially is that's taking place in a city.
I'm so pumped.
One of our favorite games of all time, The World Ends With You, had...
I was just about to say, this is the World Ends With You sequel we really truly deserved.
Like... I mean, and I know people like the Wasteland games, you know? I know people like the big open world stuff.
Are we going to shut on Fallout now? Is it time to shut on Fallout?
Do you want to go into my week?
Oh, God.
Sure, you know what? I'll use that as the transition point. Is that okay, Sora?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. So during my week, I played a lot more to Sky 5. It's super fun. I actually stopped, but not because it's boring, but because Gangmuro and I might stream it. So I wanted to stop so that I got enough in where I'm like, this isn't a game that you could probably upload to a Let's Play channel, but this could be a game that could be fun to stream because of, all the strategy and stuff and all the goofy characters and crap. So instead, I was like, well, I'm bored. And so I downloaded Fallout 4. Now, for those of you who don't know, I bought this game for the channel about a month after its release. I played a little bit of it, and then I'm like, wow, I'm not having fun. This game isn't... Like, I can see where people would like this game, but this game isn't for me. And at the time, I associated it with, because it was a shooter, and I'm not into shooters. Now, fast forward to about today.
And you're obsessed with Overwatch.
Yeah,
so.
I'm like, I have like one of the stars, and I'm close to getting my second star. And like, I've been playing a shit ton of Zenyatta. Like, I've been having a ton of fun, and I've been trying to play Tracer, and I'm having just a great time. And so I'm like, oh, I'll pick up this game again. I'll pick up Fallout. I played about 8 hours of it, admittedly. I did play a lot of it. But it's not my game. And that's the truth of the matter. Like, and it's weird because I really liked Bethesda's other games, Skyrim. I loved Skyrim. And I admittedly, and this is going to sound kind of shitty, I think it's just a thematic difference. I do not like the 1950s aesthetic.
Oh, really? So that's where you're losing it. Okay.
I don't like the fact that the game is supposed to be open world, and I don't feel like it is at times.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't like. I feel like I mean, let me put it this way. I bought a sniper rifle, and I'm like, yeah. And then I bought like a pistol, and essentially I'm like, I'm on a Mari. That's what I just did to myself, and and I was having fun then, and then eventually I got to a point where it's like, well, there's a big level gap between me and, like, the next guy. I could play the main game, but I don't want to play the main game. Like, I don't know. Like, a game like Rebel Galaxy, where you can just, look from the get-go, you can just fly around space and go to different places, and, like, you don't even have to follow the main story. Like, that's a good game, for a very simple game.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's really good, though.
It's a super solid, fun game.
I just realized that was a PS Plus game, right?
Yeah, I got it.
I bought it.
I got it like a couple weeks ago. It's super solid. I renamed my ship the Lapidat.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh shit, maybe that's gonna want me. I bought Rebel Galaxy like a while back. Like it was like, I think it was like January or something for the PC back when it was on sale, and I'm really enjoying it. I really enjoyed it as well. I went away from it though, but kind of want to start it up again.
Josh, you should also get it and name your ship after a ship.
Oh god. Which one to choose, right?
But so I find it so you're just not gelling with the aesthetics of Fallout 4, the whole like sci-fi 1950s alternate sci-fi, I guess.
And that's the thing, you know. I want to get into the game. There's like I have the desire to get into it and to play it and to try it.
Yeah.
And I just can't. I just can't do it. And
I don't know. I think I mean, King Moon and I touched on this a little bit because she enjoys Fallout 4 and I distinctly do not. This is coming from a guy who was a big fan of Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 and specifically New Vegas, right? And
are those
two
games
those are very good games. I think much better than Fallout 4. I don't know. The thing is that the I feel like they nail the aesthetic more, and I feel like Fallout 4 kind of fails to capture to live up to its own aesthetic, so to speak, you know.
If you don't mind me asking, like, what exactly does that entail? Like, because the one thing I didn't like about this one is that it's just, for it being as open as it is, it's just like, I don't know, it's just not, it just feels too barren at times.
I think with Fallout 4, its systems are way more exposed to the player, meaning like, it's way more about crafting. It's more about, you know, scavenging for items and stuff, like just like, you know, like grinding, so to speak. It feels more like I'm playing a game rather than being in a world, and that game just isn't very interesting to me.
It's just like an obvious Skinner box where
yes,
it's like
yes. I think that's exactly what it is.
And then it does that.
Right.
And
It's just so obvious.
You know what the game's trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I just don't ever feel immersed. I didn't ever feel immersed playing it, and it just the Skinner box treadmill wasn't enticing enough for me to keep going with it, you know.
I will say this much, just as a little side note. The one thing in Skyrim, because the minute you mentioned crafting, like the one thing I really loved about Skyrim was that when I beat the game, I didn't craft a goddamn thing.
Right.
But like when I was in the post game and I was just kind of messing around and stuff, I finally got to that point where like, you know what, I'm gonna build super cool armor, and like and I did it, and I felt like, I don't know, it felt good to get to that point, and then I'm playing this and it's like, go get the rubber by taking this clock or not rubber, I mean get the springs and do this and da-di-da-di-do. Like it just doesn't feel like, I don't know. It doesn't justify the ends don't justify the means. Where it's like,
no, I getcha.
I was like, oh, here, go get a clock and go over here and do this and that, and then maybe your gun can do a little bit more damage. Like, okay, 1950s announcer man voice.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think where the huge problem with Fallout 4 is really the story and the characters is really where it kind of loses me. Just because like they gave your character a voice, but they did nothing with it, right? And in Fallout 3 and 4, it's like Skyrim where you just pick dialogue options and your character doesn't have a voice. So.
I mean, I think part of that is also emblematic of like the trouble, like where I feel like a lot of Western developers are a bit obsessed with like voice characters and voice lines, where it would be a lot more feasible to like have all of this like storytelling stuff done like through like just dialogues.
I can't wait to get the YouTube comments that just say we have shit taste in games.
I mean, opinions are opinions.
I can't wait. I say that, but I know our fans will never do that because they're super great and awesome. So
I think I would never say Fallout 4 isn't a well, maybe I could, but I don't think Fallout 4 is a bad game. I don't think, and I'm not going to look at someone incredulously when they say that they really like it. You know, I just bounced off of it for
like. I've heard some weird stuff about Fallout where it's like the decisions aren't like the little prompts they give you for like the decisions you can take aren't really super descriptive of what you're going to do.
So the way that the dialogue wheel works in Fallout 4 sucks. It just is an idea of what you're about to say rather than explicitly, hey, this is the thing you're going to say. In Fallout 3,
in Vegas and I think Skyrim, like you had dialogue options and like it explicitly said like it's listed out in words like what you're about to say.
Oh yeah.
Instead, it's this one in Fallout 4. It's like yes, no, sarcastic, whatever. And so I got off Fallout 4 on PC, and one of the first mods that come out was to fix that dialogue system to make it like Skyrim, and that just made the dialogue, like the story, so much worse for me because it was so obvious how samey all the options were. You know what I mean?
Like, and I get what they were probably going for it. It's like, you
Sure.
don't want to like surprise the player with like what the character says to a certain degree, but it takes a bit of character agency out of it when you don't know what you're going to say.
It really does. I think Fallout New Vegas specifically, Mitch, if you're willing to give Fallout the franchise another shot, it's a little old and aged now. I haven't gone back to it in quite some time, but New Vegas is really, really good about immersing you into its world and like having you like solve different quests, like go through different quests differently based on your playstyle. Like you can, you can't go through everything like peacefully, but like you can like sneak through your way through. You can. There's like almost always like 5 different ways to go through a quest, especially like in the later story quests and stuff. It's really, really, really awesome.
Well, I would go and do it, but to be honest with you, there was another game that's kind of caught my eye that I wanted to give a shot. I can't due to financial reasons and the fact that like we are going to a big con in a little bit here. I've been trying to just save up my money and stuff, but one of the things that I really want to try is the Witcher games.
Oh yes. Holy shit.
Because I hear nothing but good things, and
oh my god, you want me to gush? I can gush.
Sora, tell you what, keep that in the back pocket because I don't want to. I want to go into it as neutral as possible. I want,
okay.
And I know I said already in this podcast I do not like the medieval themes, but I do make exceptions to that rule, and it seems like that could be a fun one. I think what it boils down to. I think it's because Japan has this obsession with the medieval themes, and so a lot of their games will do it.
I think a big part of it is like a lot of medieval worlds are really generic.
Yes.
Apparently Witcher's world has a lot of character with it.
Yeah, Witcher's world isn't so much medieval as it is very Polish.
Oh.
It's so Polish.
Huh.
It's got a really unique identity to it. I mean, like you can look at the trailers and think, oh, it's like Game of Thrones, whatever. But it's more than that. It's more than that. It's got its own niche, and it's really, really fascinating. Well, so you're saying you're thinking about getting to the series. Like, what game do you think you're going to start with, right?
To be honest with you, I think I'm just going to get the third one, and
I think that's a good call.
There's like certain games where it's like I think like it's easiest to just like get into the latest one, because normally especially if time has passed, games will have like a really good way to catch you up on things that have happened. Or there's now a thing called wikias that have information.
MGS storyline.
Right. However will I catch up to the MGS Survive storyline? Also, before we get into the, I just want to say one last thing about my week, and then I'll give it to Josh. Well, actually, that's a perfect way to transition it to Josh. I watched a documentary called Enter the Battlefield, a Magic the Gathering story. It's not called a Magic the Gathering story. But, I watched...
I might as well say it.
It's about an hour and 4 minutes. Sora, I recommend watching it if you want to just... if you have like an hour to kill and you just kind of are in the mood to like shut down for a second, watch this documentary.
Okay.
What I mean by that is I would have enjoyed this documentary a lot more if I didn't watch Pumping Iron. What that means is there was a documentary that was released in like the late 70s called Pumping Iron, and it features Arnold Schwarzenegger and a couple of different bodybuilders, and the guy who played the Hulk on TV, whose name escapes me right now. But essentially these bodybuilders, the idea with that documentary is like you focus on different bodybuilders and they kind of tell you about themselves and their stories and stuff, and it's really cool. It's on Netflix. Go check it out. It's actually like if you're in, I mean, you don't have to be into bodybuilding. I'm not. to enjoy. I actually watched it because Schwarzenegger, like 70s Schwarzenegger, was in it, and I'm like, I want to know what that is. He is
Schwarzenegger before the movies.
Huge. He is huge in those movies, in that documentary. Like, he is at like the peak. Like, he's Mr. Universe and that stuff. And like, oh my god, I really wish I knew the name of the other guy. Mr. Clark, the science teacher from Stranger Things, also body builds and does things. I'm messing around, obviously. The point that I bring that up, though, is that documentary's done really well. It holds up really well in terms of its pacing. It's the way it does things. In terms of just like they'll focus on one character, and then the one character might say something about Schwarzenegger, and then it cuts to Schwarzenegger, and Schwarzenegger's doing his thing, and then he talks about guy who plays Hulk, and then it goes to guy who plays Hulk, and then guy who plays Hulk becomes the main character for a while, and then it becomes his story, and it's like they do a really good job with switching between the different people. And to give you a really good idea of what the world of competitive bodybuilding is like. And for someone who is not into bodybuilding and had like no knowledge of it whatsoever before watching it, I got really like into what they were talking about. Like, oh cool, like, you know, this is all the work they put into it. This is what they have to do. Arnold Schwarzenegger's the villain in that documentary. He's like a cocky big guy. And like it's a really good watch. And so then I watched Enter the Battlefield, and it feels like it's trying to do the same thing, but like in a bad way. So they got Will Wheaton to do the narration, right?
Okay.
And they're talking, and the first couple moments of it's really good. Like, you know, they're talking about the game, and they're kind of, you know, expressing it to people who don't know what it's like, but it doesn't work on a certain level because the movie does this thing where they tell and don't show. And I understand that it's a card game and that these people might not be the most social people in the world, but there's no interactions. Like, there's no interactions between the characters. So, like, you follow these different, like, elite players of Magic, right? And they tell you, oh, these guys fought, or, oh, these guys, you know, did this, and they have a rivalry, or they talk. They tell you that instead of showing you it. And
I think a large part of it is that, like, Magic is, like, it's been notoriously bad with, like, press and stuff, where it's, like, even just, like, until recently, they didn't really have very good, like, facilities for, like, they haven't even figured out how to, like, sort of tackle, like, how to cover, like, these big events for, like, the top players in the world in a way that's interesting to people.
Yeah.
And they haven't, like, adjusted, like, Hearthstone has to, like, Twitch streaming or, like, anything of that sort as far as, like, next generation media goes like, fan outreach.
Well, the worst part about the documentary was just the fact that they had an interesting character in the film.
I mean,
they had one. They had like, one solid person. This stuff has
been going on over like the course of like 20 years.
You just get Boyhood, Magic the Gathering.
Oh god,
a documentary that takes 12 years to make.
Oh my god!
You just follow this one guy, and then halfway through the movie, he loses interest in magic. They had this one. That's the thing that gets me. They had this one interesting character, and they didn't cover her a lot. The idea was that this was like the first female player to make it into this elite like level, right? And at the end of the documentary, she gets offered a job at Wizards of the Coast and becomes becomes part of their research and development. And why didn't we follow this character more? That sounds 1,000 times more interesting than any other thing that happened in the documentary. The rest of the documentary is following like a bunch of these guys who play on a competitive level who clearly do not talk to people, and it's not their. I'm sounding like a dick. What it boils down to is that if you're gonna make a movie, you know, like have these characters, or at least edit it in a way, or show some form of interaction, or do something. Like, it's Magic the Gathering. Why don't you show players of varying levels and varying degrees of, play style? Maybe you follow up someone who's just starting, and by the end of the documentary, they're thinking about entering their first tournament, or have the exact character they had, which was the first female to enter that level, and then show her in the R&D department, which they did in the documentary. Instead, they followed all these elite players who don't interact with each other, who kind of talk about each other, and it just, I don't know. I told you to give this a watch if you were like, I retract my statement from the very beginning, because the more I think about it, I am being harsh because
you're probably comparing this like Pumping Iron probably is deservedly like one of like the better like documentaries that's like stuck around. Like, it's probably made by really talented individuals.
Josh, they paid Will Wheaton to be part of this. They knew what they were doing.
So from what I've heard about this documentary, it was pretty much like a community project put together by like two people within like the Magic the Gathering community, not commissioned, not like associated with like any really big interest at all.
I didn't go to film school, and I can still point out all the things that are bad with it.
Yes, but it's like the scope and like the, I guess like the vision that you're putting forward is probably beyond like people of those means to put together.
I guess I know
missing,
I know I'm being harsh about
infrastructure you get from like being an established like documentarian. And like that clout, you're not going to be able to pull together all these materials. From what I heard, it's like it was a very like skin of the teeth, like, so we want to do this, and then they just willed it into existence.
They will be it into existence.
Very little like sitting around.
Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't say that one. I know I'm being harsh on it. I know that it's just, you have to, it's more like I have this higher expectation because I guess it's just, when I think of the documentary, I think of like, I don't know, I think of like the good ones I watched. When you think of movies, you never think of like the shit ones you watch. You always think of the good ones you watch. I think it's good to have a higher standard and to expect more of your media. Like, I don't know. The point is that I watched the documentary, and essentially, it did its job.
There's a difference between.
It did its job because I ended up playing Magic the Gathering with Josh right before this podcast. Like, there's a great little program you can download called Cockatrice, and you can just play Magic the Gathering with your friends. I feel like maybe another comparison could have been Daybreakers and this. Daybreakers being a 24-minute advertisement for a game, and it's amazing. And this was essentially an hour and 4-minute advertisement for Magic the Gathering. And it did its job because by the end of it, I was like, I did want to play Magic, but I feel like that's exactly what it is. I feel like I watched an hour and 4-minute commercial. That's what it feels like.
I think a large part of what makes the documentary less effective is that it was made by people who were exclusively by people who were already inside of the community, and so they ended up covering stuff that's mostly really important to people who are already on the inside. Okay. So being a pro and being one of those top level players, a lot of the people that they covered are veritable legends in the community. I think they mentioned Louis Scott Vargas and Owen Turtenwald and a few of the really big pro scene players, and they are the top of the game. They are the top dogs.
Yeah, they're
the people
great.
that everybody reads articles from, which is fine, but it's they don't necessarily it doesn't necessarily mean that they're also the most interesting stories.
Well, Yeah. Okay.
It suffers from that preoccupation.
Okay. You know, let's stop talking about this because this is like going nowhere, and I feel like this is going to be one of those situations where it's like I understand where you're coming from, but I'm still disappointed in this movie, and I expected more out of it. And at the end of the day, I sound real shitty about this, but let me. I know I am. I know I'm being a complete shit right now about this, but I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna end it here. I did not like this movie.
So, welcome to like Josh's Weeb Corner.
Yeah.
What's up on the Weeb Corner?
It's a comfy place.
Yeah.
What's up?
So
Everyone, grab your pillow,
everyone
girls.
gather around now. Like, get close to the fire so I can push you in.
Got my body pillow ready.
That's what they're called.
Squatting down.
Good thing I have my Levi body pillow, right? Because I'm so into Attack on Titan.
All right, Josh, lay it on us.
Go ahead.
Everyone knows that it's a Kirito body pillow band.
Of course.
You gotta hug the
only
swords.
body pillow.
Asshole! I fucking took a shot. What you were doing?
Feel the burn, man.
Fuck off.
So I read one of the recommendations from that recommendations list that we got on like the Velvetcast like a couple of weeks ago.
From Rasfenden or Brasenden or whatever.
Yeah, I apologize.
God.
We don't really remember the username. It was like I'm not going to bother saying like the Japanese title for it. It's Ron in the Gray World.
Huh,
And
okay.
I recognize this this author like artist because I'd read this anthology of short stories by them called Gunjo Gakasha, and I was always struck by like how pretty the art was, and the stories having a sort of interesting tone to them. So I came into this sort of expecting another like anthology series because I had no idea what the series was when like I dove into it. I didn't even bother reading the description for the thing, and I found myself like sort of pleasantly surprised. So it's a like 44-ish chapter series.
Okay, so it's pretty short.
Yeah, I think it's like a monthly series though, so it's got like more than
It's ongoing.
it ended, I think, not super
okay.
long ago. It's got like beautiful art. Granted, you can say that about lots of series, but it's got like this sort of like romantic, like heavily cross-hatched art to it. Everything feels a little bit lighter than you would sort of think of in like normal everyday life, like day-to-day life. And you know, it's got like the like things look like they have those like shoujo like manga sparkles on them, even though like most of the time they don't.
Okay.
So the main character is like a 10-year-old girl, and like she has this magic pair of Nike shoes that like can make her like turn into like an adult, and like that's a sort of creepy premise on like on its own. Like
Is this like Mike except like very much Japanese?
But it's a coming of age story. Like I didn't really know what it was in the first few chapters, but I realized like slowly, like while reading the series, that it's like a coming of age story for like this girl and like her dealing with like all that it sort of entails.
So it's the movie Big.
Oh, totally.
It's just Tom Hanks, and they even have.
So I'm sorry, what was the name again?
It's Ron in the Gray World.
Okay.
Like the art in this, like the character design, sort of remind me of like sort of older, like art from like the like maybe
Whoa.
early 90s, like
Yeah,
late 80s.
I see what you mean.
And it's like super baroque. Like there's a lot more going on in the backgrounds than is necessary.
What? I'm sorry, Josh. One more time. What was the name of that?
Ron in the Gray World.
Oh, in the Gray World. Okay, sorry.
And basically, it's like Ron is like from a line of like sort of modern day Japanese like sorcerers, and they like her mom and like her dad sort of like watch over this like portal to like the netherworld and make sure that monsters don't get out. Don't worry, it's not super duper important. It's like sort of a backdrop for like this sort of nice like character drama, I guess. And like all the relationships in the series, like the parental ones, the friends, like the romantic ones, are like really cute.
It looks really really detailed. Like, holy shit, these panels are beautiful.
Like it's series like this always have like a really soft spot in my heart because like I'm just a sucker for like really beautiful like panels that I can just like linger on
yeah.
for a little bit. Like this is something where I'd probably just reread it again just to like see the art. But it
I'm
does a
definitely
really
intrigued.
nice job of like establishing a world that you just want to keep on like exploring. It's got that sort of childhood innocence, I guess, in it. Sort of like in every scene with like Ron, where it's like, you know, everything's new to her and like things are happening that she might not necessarily understand, but she like, you know, like the indomitable like 10-year-old spirit like shines through and all that.
Right. It looks really cool.
But that's pretty much like it for my Weeb Corner talk.
It does look really good, actually.
It looks really beautiful. Yeah.
So
and it's
I'm
especially
super
the fact
thankful
that
to like the user that gave me these recommendations.
It's
Refrescenden.
yeah.
Yeah,
Say
it's
it like
like
three
I'll
times in a
probably
mirror,
have to
I don't
like
know.
give Holy Land a read later.
Yeah, I mean, just the length of this is enticing enough for me to like check it out because it seems like something I can knock out in a week.
Oh,
so.
if there's any one series that I would recommend if like you're interested in like a short series that you just want to like be able to like knock out that'll like probably make you cry, it's a series called Orange,
Oh god.
which
Orange?
yeah, it got an anime like adaptation like this
Oh,
season.
it did.
I recommend reading the manga rather than watching the anime because I think the
anime not
anime
good?
is like a lot of people like it, but I think it's inferior. It misses a lot of the subtleties of the characters in it.
I
And
feel
I've been
like
trying
it's
to
a
get
lot
Mitchell
of
to watch or read this series for like 3 years now.
yeah. That's why I always say, "Oh God." You know what, Josh? Not to interrupt real quick, but because we're in the Weeb Corner right now, I thought I'd bring up to your attention because I wasn't sure if you were aware. Fuka is getting a anime.
Oh shit! Oh no!
See, for those of you
shit.
who don't know, Josh and I have this relationship in which you recommend something to me, I tend to ignore it, and then mainly because some of them are great, Josh. Some of them are really bad. So,
Are you talking about the one where like the guy has like the power to like make women like madly like sexually in love with him
oh,
by like
no,
showing him
what?
his like the birthmark on his ass?
Oh yeah, no, because that was so good to read. So I ever since then.
Oh, what was his name for this series? It was
I
like
can't remember.
Sakuranbo syndrome or something.
Oh my god, yeah. No, I will admit it was an interesting series, but like
No, it was Kono Eso Mio. The Sakuranbo syndrome was like the name of a series that another series the guy did that was actually better.
So
I don't know if you'd like it though.
so that is not an open recommendation, everyone. Just so you're aware.
Yeah, this author does like strange stuff with like sexual like subject matters.
So Josh and I have this relationship where you'll recommend something, and then I won't read it, and then I'll recommend something to you, and then you have a tendency to push it on the back burner for as long as you possibly can.
Pretty much until you read something that I recommend.
That's pretty much our relationship. So
And then it's like, oh, okay, I'll read something out of regret.
So there was this really cheesy manga, like last. I think I got into it. Oh my god, was it like 2 years ago? Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. Called
Probably.
Fuka, and it was a ride. The manga is definitely. I mean, I don't read a lot of those types of series anymore. Ichi series. It's an Ichi series. It's like a little romantic, like little Ichi series. I don't read a lot of those series, but there's just one that it was on Crunchyroll's manga selection, and I think it's ending soon actually. So,
oh man,
there's a lot going on with it. I haven't caught up with it, but the point is that I remember recommending this to Josh, and you didn't read it. So
I pretty much refused.
You told me, and I believe the quote was, "This mangaka is horrible," and you did not like their previous works, and so now it's getting an anime. So if you want, Josh, there's another opportunity to check it out.
The previous series, like by this mangaka was Kimi no Yoromachi, which is like the town where you live or something. I think there's like a online meme where like people started calling the series "The Town Where You Rage."
Oh, that tells me all I need to know.
So I read like over 100 chapters of this series, admittedly.
Oh God.
Not Fuka, the previous work by this author. And at a certain point, it's like after like the big twist that the big dramatic.
How do you spell Fuka? Is it the same as the Persona character?
It's
I
like
wish.
2 U's.
I wish, right?
Yep. Yep. Fuka anime, same spelling.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Blue hair guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone on the channel knows my stupid weakness. Anyways.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a lady.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Anyway.
blue hair.
No, he's
Yeah,
blue hair,
of course.
yeah.
This is why he's reading like domestic kanojo.
Whoa!
Don't-
What the heck is with that advertisement? Okay. There's a lot of naked ladies on that advertisement.
Actually, I stopped reading domestic.
I haven't read a chapter in a while, actually.
I wanted to get more into it. It was see, that's the thing. There was like all these series that I was following for a while, and then like I said, I kind of just dropped it all. I dropped the ball on it.
I mean, for me, part of it is like when you miss a chapter of a series, it's really hard to get back on like board. I guess.
Oh, you know what, Sora? I know that Josh has been recommending all these different manga to you, but I want to recommend something really quick to you.
Okay. All right.
20th Century Boys. It's only like 220 chapters.
I'll check this out. All right. Okay, fine. What's your recommendation?
Inside Marie.
Inside
shit.
Marie.
Fuck,
or
I
is it
still
a
haven't
manga?
read
Is this a manga or an anime?
It's
I mean, I
it's-
read some of it, but
It's a manga. You spell Mari, M-A-R-I.
M-A-R-I. Yep. Boku wa Mari no Naka.
Really enjoyed this. All
right.
I think it's because it was something that was just the less you know, the better it is.
Okay. Sure.
It was really interesting to me. I thought it was something very different. It's almost you think you see where it's going, but it doesn't go there. Like it very much avoids it, and like
All right.
it's fun. It's a fun series. Josh, did you end up getting into that one?
it's like I first started reading some of that like when like scanlators were releasing it on Batoto. No one's released much anymore since it got licensed by Crunchyroll. I do have a Crunchyroll like Prime account, so I'll probably have to end up reading through that.
So wait, it's the manga's on Crunchyroll then?
Yeah.
It's like like there's the anime subscription, and then there's like a Prime subscription or something where you can get
shit.
like access to like their manga stuff there.
yeah.
Fuck, let me see if I have this then, because
If you're
I
going
don't know what
to read
subscription I
that
have.
on like Crunchyroll, I'd totally recommend Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
I was gonna say,
because I
all right,
recommend it
all
to
right.
everybody.
Let's pump the brakes on these recommendations for a sec. I needed to address something. Mitch, I will read this. I'll read Inside Marie if you read or watch Mob Psycho 100. That's the deal.
Okay, deal.
That's the deal.
Next, okay, how many episodes of the anime are there?
There's I think just 10 right now. 10 episodes.
Okay, tell you what. I will do my
10 tomorrow.
best to watch Mob Psycho, and then next week when we come back here,
Am I included in this like
You don't have
Inside
to watch
Marie
it.
thing?
You can read it too. The manga would work too. The manga would work.
I will admit that opening is really good.
Oh, shit.
So I that okay, there we go. We have made a contract in the Velvet Room.
We've cut our palms and like, let's shake, man.
I was thinking more like Igor when you signed a contract, Josh. I didn't cut my palm. You're just bleeding all over the floor now.
Ah, shit. I need to start reading the mood better.
Anyways, our whole goal for this week was to not spend an hour talking about weeks, and we did it anyways. So
Yeah. Awesome.
Fuck it.
Oh god.
It's only because we started arguing about freaking Enter the
Yeah, it's because
Battlefield.
you guys got into a fight and I got scared. And,
Don't worry, son.
I genuinely, I will probably cut out a little bit of that because that got a little like.
oh, don't worry about it. No, I thought it was fine.
Oh my god. Oh my
Okay,
god.
well.
Anyway, so let's talk about the main subjects for this week. I feel like over
I feel like the
time,
main subjects take like half of the time that like the weeks take.
I feel like it's because the weeks end up becoming like general discussion, and then we get to like the meat of it. This week we're going to be talking about the new Steven Universe episode because I have a lot to say about it. I don't care what you guys think. No, we're gonna talk about the new Steven Universe episode, and I think we might be talking about something else, but I'm gonna keep that on the back burner just for time purposes to see.
I'm gonna need some time with this episode. We're gonna need some time.
Okay.
It's got a lot of things to say about it.
Okay, so let's get into it. This episode, oh my god, what was it called?
Last One Out of Beach City.
Last One Out of Beach City. Now, admittedly, when I heard that title, I actually thought that this was going to be like some big like alien invasion episode. So like,
you certainly weren't getting what you were expecting.
I got something so much better. I got something so much better.
So much gayer.
So let's talk about the episode. So we've actually been criticized before for not actually talking about the episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a small summary of it.
Well, from the top, we're gonna go into spoilers for this episode and everything up to Steven Universe. So if you're not interested in that, just a heads up.
Yeah.
Or if you're not ready for spoilers. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So let's talk. So this episode starts off with Amethyst wanting to go to a concert. And everyone's Greg, who was supposed to take her, he can't do it for some reason. So then Pearl and Steven kind of tag along because, hey, Pearl can be cool. And she even puts on a really cool outfit and everything, which was so cute. And they're hanging out at the donut, which like I thought was kind of cool. And then all of a sudden, she walks in the room. And the whole atmosphere for the entire episode changes all of a sudden. And it is just the best. So this mystery girl walks in. She has like cool rocking pink hair. She just looks awesome, emits like this really cool rock attitude. It is so good. It is so good, guys. And she doesn't even say a word of dialogue, I think, in this whole episode.
Nope. Nope.
But Pearl freaks out. Like, she is, like, a nervous... Yeah. Like, I'm not... To give you guys a good idea of how Pearl felt, imagine your crush. When the first time you ever... Or, like, the first time you have a crush on someone, you just get that, like, that sensation of nervousness and intimidation.
Your heart drops into your stomach.
Exactly. That feeling. And... it was so relatable. It was so real. And the whole episode, and then from that point on, like, she can't say anything to her. So then she goes in and they're now on the road. They're driving like Greg's car and they're on the road. And she sees her again on a motorcycle, and she kind of has that same emotion, like that same like butterfly kind of on her face. You can just see it. And the thing is, you think some people at home might think I'm exaggerating. No,
the studio trigger butterflies come back and start flying all around the screen.
The studio trigger butterflies come back and just start attacking the scene. So then she starts driving fast, and because she wants to be cool and stuff, and the cops come after, like the sirens start going, and she makes a really good joke about how she doesn't have a driver's license, and then she has a moment where she talks about how she wanted to be cool and everything, and she has a moment of admission and all that stuff. And I think we just lost Sora. So.
Oh no.
Oh jeez. Well, I'll continue this, and then if he comes back, we'll try to get him back. So then they end up in the. Oh.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Sora? Sora, no!
Sora!
Hi, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hi. I'm sorry, guys. My internet just crapped out.
No,
I stayed dead silent that whole entire time. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. So...
I'm here now. I'm here.
So, anyways, the episode ends with, they end up at the party. They walk to the party, and the mystery girl's there, and Pearl walks up, like, she you know, she's ready to do this. She walks up, she comes back almost a little defeated, and doesn't understand why she was given a phone number. And that's the...
That was so great.
Like, like Amethyst's reaction to that is so solid. It's so solid, that nervous laughter and then getting into like genuine happiness, because it's like it's like a what the fuck kind of moment. Like, that's essentially the episode in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Now,
I guess Pearl needs to buy a cell phone.
So yeah. So let's talk about what actually happened in this episode.
What do you mean? What actually happened? That it's confirmed that Pearl is best gem. She's canonically the best gem now. Like, there's no contest. It's over. Like,
okay.
Oh my god, dude!
It's over, isn't it? Isn't it over?
It is.
So let's talk about what actually happened. So I think this episode is incredibly strong. It is an incredibly strong episode, and for one of the best reasons I could ever give this series. Throughout the entire show, Pearl has been shown to be a character who was very much in love with Rose. She was very much in love with Rose. It's very obvious, and they keep making it more and more obvious as time goes on. And with the episode, Mr. Greg, she finally kind of comes to terms with what happened, and she allows herself to get over it, almost, if you will. Or at least be better about it with Greg. This episode, she gets back in. I don't want to say she gets back into the game, because I don't think she ever was in the game. But
right.
She finds someone new, and she's intimidated, and she has a type. You know,
That's the thing. That was the thing I was going to touch on. That's so funny and kind of odd to me that she has a type like that. That's like. I don't know. It's weird. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. But it's like she's weirdly moving on while also staying in the same place almost.
She just likes really tall rebels.
Really tall rebels with big poofy pink hair.
Yeah, you know what I need to do now? Shave one side of my head and dye my hair pink and try to find people like Pearl. No,
working on that Zarya cosplay.
Steal Pearl away from you, man.
God damn it! I didn't think of that. It's just Zarya. Pearl's in love with Zarya.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
No. So it was really great. I mean, how do I word this? You don't see that often in shows, at least kid shows, like, so getting over that, getting over the fact that, like, things didn't work out, and then having that moment of just, like, of moving on. And it's exactly what you said, Sora, because it was funny when Steven was like, okay, cards on the table, guys. She looks like mom.
Just like my mom. Yeah. I was like, Steven, what the fuck, dude? You have no chill. What the hell?
I mean, it was just a really kind of... The episode was just really fun. I think that's what it boils down to. It felt oddly real, and it also felt oddly fun. It felt like I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. I just want to gush for a little bit about the whole, like, punk rock show aspect of it.
Oh, dude.
They fucking nailed it, dude. They fucking nailed it.
I'm surprised they didn't go to the goddamn garage and it's just fucking Scott Pilgrim. We are sex people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like,
well,
oh, dude, this episode was so up my alley.
Yeah, no, same here. Like, just because from like a personal thing, just in the fact that like it was such a pop punk episode, right? Like that band was pop punk. The song they were playing, the audience, the type of people that showed up and everything. That was like exactly what you'd see. Like, and I went to those shows in high school. I went to those shows in college and stuff. And it was just so perfect. it reminded me a lot of this episode overall gave me a lot of Fooly Cooley vibes.
Dude. Okay, so when I got all hyped for it, right? I messaged Mika and was like, "It's like Arctic Monkeys meets the Pillows." That's this episode.
Yeah, that's the whole line, and then they dropped it like, that's gonna be like they're gonna be playing some rock show, and it'll be like songs that are nostalgic for the suburbs, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so perfect.
This episode felt like it was written by a completely different person, like
in a good way, I guess. I don't know.
In a super great way.
It'll be a lot like the those like one-off episodes in Avatar: Last Airbender where you just remember them.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Like this is like definitely like I know we said this a lot during the summer of Steven when the podcast was first starting and stuff, but like holy shit! Like this is one of those episodes that like is just gonna be like in my favorites forever. And it's easy to say every episode of Steven Universe is a great episode, but this episode,
this is definitely like right now in my top 5.
This is
And even then, like the previous last few episodes with Stevani and like addressing Steven's issues and stuff. That's also my top 5 probably.
This show just keeps getting better over time, and there's so much love and shit put into it, and everything about this episode was just so awesome. The fact, like, I love how Pearl is so proud of like who she is at times. She don't get me wrong. She has moments of weakness, which we all have, which is the most awesome thing ever about her character. She's not super insanely prideful, but she does have moments where like she's like, "Oh, come on, Steven, I've been a criminal for 6,000 years." And like I'm like, "Oh my god, you're beautiful. You wonderful piece of shit. I love you." Like I just got so like this episode makes me happy. That's what it boils down to. You get to see
it's a real feel good episode.
You see a character who shits on herself, who kind of lived in the past for a little bit there. And she's moving on, and she's trying to be cool and do her own thing, and she's,
honestly, I'm glad that it didn't go the route of like, it didn't turn out to be one of those stereotypical like non-cool person tries to act cool but isn't cool episode archetypes that you see in a lot of kids shows.
Well, I think
you get the whole Aesop about oh, you shouldn't act not like yourself, but it's like it's actually her moving on.
Yeah, like it's getting her. It was more of her not trying to be someone she isn't, but breaking out of her comfort zone.
Exactly. Like the thing about Steven Universe, just to go off of what Josh said for a second, is that you think something will happen, you think that it'll follow a trope, and it doesn't, and that's what makes Steven just a great show. I'm wearing the cookie cat shirt like right now. So like it's one of those shows that just is a really great pleasant surprise, and I know that going back to what you said earlier, Sora. The thing about this that also made it really great for a lot of people, especially on Tumblr, I've noticed, was the fact that this was another girl that Pearl was really into, and that's just a whole different thing. And to be honest with you, if this was 5 years ago, or even if this was 3 years ago, and you asked me if that was a thing that could happen in Cartoon Network, I would have told you no.
Yeah.
I think Cartoon Network's just generally more inclined to take risks than something like Nickelodeon.
Well, I was also going to say maybe at this point they're just like, whatever, just do whatever you want, Rebecca.
Yeah,
just do whatever you want,
no
Steven
idea
Universe.
That this brings in the views.
Yeah, I have no idea how Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network are doing, like, respectively, like, in terms of their market share or whatever, but it seems like Cartoon Network's way more willing to take risks on shows like this. At the same time, they also have plenty of stinkers, like, like the new Powerpuff Girls show.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I feel like that has
really
to do a
seen
lot with
anything
the
about
staff.
that.
I feel like that has to do a lot with the just like.
Oh, I'm sure the staff that are on the Powerpuff Girls show care a lot about the property. I don't want to shit on them too hard, but
But anyways, back to let's get back to the episode.
With some. Yeah.
So this dynamic in general, maybe it happened and I just wasn't like actively thinking about it, but like the fact that this was an episode where Amethyst, Pearl, and Steven got to just hang out and goof around, like, we haven't had one of those in a while. Like, I can't remember the last time that it was those three characters.
Right.
Because
And also, Amethyst was actually being fucking supportive and not just shitting on Pearl the whole time. Like, that was really nice. I think Amethyst has gotten some really good development.
Oh, hell yeah.
She used to be... Like, when the episode where I first caught up with Steven Universe, she was like one of my she's one of my lesser favorite characters, and now she's definitely climbed up there for me. You know,
Absolutely.
just in terms of her growth.
I feel like Smoky Quartz being a thing.
Yeah.
And addressing.
She became even more the bro that everybody wants.
Exactly.
She's a character that, like, I mean, before there's, I mean, don't get me wrong, before she had fans, but I feel like she's you're right, she's super grown into a character that, like, a lot of people really like and can and has grown, and that's another really beautiful mark of the show. Every character has developed, except maybe Garnet. But I feel like
that's the thing.
I say that. I say that, but I feel like it's because Garnet she has developed in her own way.
She has.
It's not as radical, I should say. There we go.
Right. Well, I think the problem I have with Garnet, and I really like Garnet. I think Garnet's a great character. I think she's really unique and cool. I think she's great as she is in the show. But I think the problem with her and the way that she's written is that all of her character development has already happened. You know what I mean? Like, she's already the embodiment of a perfect relationship. They can still do interesting things with her, but, like, a lot of her interesting character episodes were with the flashbacks. You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
like,
Keystone is a one that comes out to me, but then it's not Garnet, it's Ruby and Sapphire. But it's so weird to talk about this because it's like Garnet is the embodiment of that perfect relationship. So when you have that episode like Keystone Motel, it's like, well, it is technically Garnet that is developing.
That's true. No. It definitely is true. But I mean, Garnet has. That's like the only time that I've seen Garnet have a really huge character conflict. You know what I mean? Like, in huge growth.
I almost feel
episode.
like as if it's because she plays a lot more of a mentor role in this.
She does. No, yeah. So, I don't think that's a bad or wrong in any way, but it's just that I've grown more attached to the other characters that have arcs and Garnet's kind of stayed at the same level for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with
Garnet's
Garnet's
always just been like the cool bigger sister character.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's great. I think that's awesome. And
like the series needs her.
Yeah.
She's not uninterested, or she's definitely not uninteresting. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah. I think well, you know what this boils down to, right? This is the whole which is your favorite JoJo character like argument all over again, where it's it's like they're all wonderful. Shut up though. Like Garnet is the Jotaro of
yada. Yeah. Okay.
Like I feel like you know what I mean. So it's like
yeah. Oh no, I see it.
This episode is fantastic. My one
dude, so good.
My one problem. I know. My one small problem. Sorry. With this episode is the fact that the way it ends, where they have the little joking credit sequence and stuff.
Oh yeah, I love those. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it was super cute. But then there's some part of me in the back of my mind that's like, this is a super one-off, isn't it? Like, you're never seeing that character again, are you?
I would say the opposite in that the fact that they phrased her as introducing the mystery girl as herself. That would be.
Oh, I did not notice
kind
it
of
said
implies.
introducing.
Yeah, introducing. I would have phrased it as like featuring the mystery girl or whatever, or like guest appearance mystery girl or something like that. They said introducing, so I think she's going to be around.
You see, with any other show, I would say it's fairly likely that they're never going to come back. But it's Steven Universe, and characters have a tendency to like exist.
Yeah, I think Steven Universe is real good about like, hey, remember this thing that happened like 50 episodes back? Well, we still remember, like they'll bring it up.
This character's going to become a fan favorite.
I think so. I think she already has.
She's already there because for a lot of people who I know certain people who like their main problem with Pearl was her obsession with Rose, and this is one of those things that's like, well, fuck you guys. Here's an episode for you.
I think a lot of people already like the Mystery Girl. A lot of people on the subreddit have already been calling her Punk Diamond. I think that's awesome.
apparently, Lauren Zook had posted. I think she posted something along the lines of character concept art, and she was calling her Sheena or something like Shira. So, and I'm sorry. Hey, if you hit it down and below in the comments, why don't you leave the answer for that, because I cannot remember at the top of my head. But like she had like it was like the design was like a mix between her, Rebecca, and one of the other storyboard artists whose names escape me right now. And it she looks amazing. She looks awesome, and like that's the thing that gets me is like just how awesome this character looks. You know, like it would be so like, you ever look at a show and their character designs are very clearly like not of this decade.
Yeah.
This is a very modern look for a character, and like you have to think about how long these episodes take to make. So like I don't know, I guess it's just like she just looks really cool. She just looks so fucking cool.
I think part of the draw for the character is like she's immediately recognizable as this is a cool person that you want to be like next to, like you want to interact with this person.
I can't tell you how many of my friends have pretty much said that's their type of girl. So rock and roll. I'm sorry, I'm just all giddy and happy now. Maybe it's because of the rum, but I'm just, the episode is...
Oh, it was an awesome episode. It was a great episode.
Oh, it's awesome
really
because of the
fucking all
episode,
around.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't think there's really much else to say. It does make me interested to see if we will see them again. Like, Sora, as much as I agree with you on that idea, I am a little concerned. And it's only... my concern only comes from the fact that, like, in a show like Steven Universe, you're absolutely correct. They would come back, but I don't think we're going to see them anytime soon. Is another.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't think there's anything to be concerned about, even if it is a one-off. I think it's a
either
really
they're going
solid
to
one.
be out of the show
absolutely.
for like a really long time, or they're going to come back next episode. That'd be pretty
excited.
great.
I really would like an episode where they would talk about the fact that Pearl has a fucking type.
Yeah.
I think that gets me more than anything, because when that happened, I'm like, you know, as much as I hate to admit it, I think we all do. I think there's a certain aesthetic or a certain look that just really just
No, that gives you jazzed.
Oh, that destroys you inside. God. Anyway, so yeah, that was the Steven Universe episode. It was super fun.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
really excited for next week's.
It's
I'm
like
really
talking
good.
about Zarya. Segue.
hang on. I just wanted to say real quick.
Okay.
I'm really excited at the fact that we are on the weekly schedule again, because it does give us room to breathe for
Steven Universe.
It's really nice to have that breathing room and really just let
Don't
an
have to
episode
cover like
sink
5
in.
episodes at a time.
Oh, that too. But all right, so we do have some time, so let's get into the subject that we were kind of here
Dancing around?
Yeah, let me open this real quick, guys, because I think it'll be best to open it this way. For those of you who were online on Thursday and saw on the Twitch that we were playing Overwatch, I wanted to give a genuine apology. We did not think that was going to happen, and I'm going to give you two some context right now. So what happened was, on Thursday, we had a lot of problems with the stream. On Strider's end of the spectrum, the internet might not be as strong, so the video did not come out nearly as clear as we wanted it to be. We did our placement matches and we were destroyed. We were crushed. We did 2 rounds and one was in Volskaya, and it genuinely, like, Volskaya is one of my favorite maps, and like it crushed our spirits, and it was very obvious that like that the salt was growing, and so we did like a free play, and then I think I was just like, okay, we need to like stop, and Strider and I had like a solid 30-minute talk afterwards about what not to do next time we stream. Like,
Yeah.
I love you guys, I need you to understand this. I love all of my fans so much, but I am so genuinely sorry about what happened, because it was not cool of us to do that. We did not put on a good show, and I know that the show is super casual, but I still feel like a piece of shit for like where it went and all that crap, and like.
Well, I mean, you know, you guys we're still figuring things out, right? And I mean, even with the competitive stuff, yeah, like don't beat yourself up too hard. I mean, we're still getting used to the whole streaming thing, right?
Oh yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Oh man.
That being said, I did 2 placement matches on competitive. So yeah, here's the subject material, guys. Competitive.
Yeah. So you did just those two placement matches? Just let's just off the top, like have a big dick measuring contest and see where we're at in competitive in terms of rank. So you did the 2 placement matches, and that's it.
I did the 2 placement matches, and to be honest with you, I wanted to get into the competitive scene. I'm so turned off from it right now. I need to take a step back from it. And,
I understand. No, I get it.
Oh, so where are you though, Sora?
Let's see. I am gold. I think I'm hovering around 2,300, and so gold is the range is 2,000 to 2,500, and so then 2,500 and up is diamond, or platinum, I guess. Platinum, yeah. Josh, where are you at?
Let's open up Overwatch because I forget. So I placed into like high gold around like 2400s, and then like my peak was 2597. So
nice.
Just
so
like
then you're in platinum.
Almost 100 above like gold, but it's like it's to the point where if you have a few bad games, you fall right back into gold.
Yeah. So question, do you usually play alone or with friends?
It's like 50-50. Sometimes I'll play with like a person who mains Ana.
Okay. Ana's good. I mean, honestly, if you can main her.
Maybe on consoles it's a little different when I
sniping, yeah.
Yeah, because when we see the
like
healer sniper,
Ana
it's like
can like sleep McCree's pretty reliably during their ults. So it's
sorry that you were saying.
Oh, it was a finished thought. Like if you're gonna play a sniper on console, you better know what you're doing.
Because
it's
a threat.
Oh my god.
She's a difficult hero to play with a mouse and keyboard. I couldn't imagine with a control stick.
Oh god.
Dude. Oh my god. The struggle is so real.
But yeah, I fell back down to like 24, like into the high 2400s. Okay. Because I've been having a losing streak.
Oh, gotcha. So like we could be paired in the same matches. You're a ways above me, but we could be paired in the same matches.
Yeah, I think what was like the level gap, or like the numbers gap?
The level gap. The numbers gap. You can party up. You can actually queue up with people up to 1,000 rank difference.
Okay.
So it's pretty generous.
And it only gets like a little bit tighter like the higher up you go, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't plan on hitting masters anytime soon.
No, I need to have. I don't go into competitive with the active attitude of I want to get to masters or whatever. But I do feel like I need to have kind of an attitude adjustment. I don't know. I don't know what to do, man, because I do get really salty with competitive play, and it's also like it's gotten. It's rough because I want to be better at the game and I want to get better at the game, and I'm enjoying, and I get enjoyment by seeing myself improve, right? Mm-hmm. And I think competitive is the best way to do that. Whereas quick play, especially since competitive has been a mode that you play like since that's come out, quick play has gotten more and more lulzy, where people would just be like, fuck it, like I'll just let's just have 4 Genji. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all Genjis.
Full Genji,
let's just fucking do this.
And then the other team goes, oh, we know what your number is. We are going full Harambe.
Right. But with competitive, like I just get too angry, and so I have a group of friends that I play Overwatch with, and all they want to do is play competitive, and I'm like, guys, can we just play quick play? Because I don't want to get mad, and I don't want to yell at you guys, and that doesn't feel good. But it's getting better, I guess. But when I'm playing, but the thing is, when I solo queue and play competitive,
people just get so butthurt so quickly. Like, even when we're winning, even when you, like, the worst part is, like, during my placement games, like, I would be queued with these guys that, like, there's this one game where we were on attack and somebody went Bastion, and I'm like, all right, listen, can we not have a Bastion? Like, do you have any other guy that you're good with? Like, because, you know, like, Bastion is a much better, like, defense here. It was on Hanamura.
I would say, like,
Bastion
competitive, like, the placement games are arguably worse than, like, the actual competitive matches. Like, they were so stressful. Like, I went through those matches and I was tearing my hair out. And I'm not one of those people who, like, you know, BMs and, like, gets mad.
No, yeah, and so that's the thing, like, I don't BM the chat. I just yell over, like, you know, I just get, like, angry and, like, physically yell out, and,
like,
you know,
yell at your screen.
my friends
are
on
like,
the mic,
oh my
and
God.
I just have and, like, I have an open mic, you know, so my friends hear all that shit. But I don't ever, like, I try to avoid, like, you know, BMing, like, typing or, like, holding down, like, talking to people, like, in the game, you know. But anyway, so this attack Bastion guy, and then he's just pretty much just like, no, fuck off, like, I'm gonna be Bastion, and then I'm just like, all right, like, whatever, dude. And so then he does well, like, to his credit, like, he does really well, like, he's getting, you know, good plays, like, he's taking people out, and we win the game, and he just fucking starts tearing this whole team. Like, it wasn't just me, it was like, dude, get off Bastion, it was my whole team. And then he was just yelling at everybody, being like, oh my God, you guys fucking suck, like, your rank is way lower than mine, like, shut the fuck up, like, you don't know anything about it. I'm like, dude, like, we won. Stop being such a huge asshole. Like, I didn't give you shit after
I proved you
know.
all wrong. It was me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was the one who carried the team.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I even said, like, hey, like, nice job, like, thanks for carrying me, lol. And then
Hey, nice
like,
job, and he slapped
And then
him
he
in the
turns
face.
around and says, yeah, you better be grateful.
No, he's just like, shut the fuck up, like, you guys don't know anything. And I'm like, dude, like, the worst thing, like, I can understand being angry and pissy when you lose, but being angry and pissy when you win, like, come on, man. Like,
Sora, it's okay. There's some. Let me put it this way, all right. I guess it's different because on consoles we don't have. Let me put it this way for you. I don't.
You can't type out as much. You can't type out as much shit.
Oh, you can't type out
as quickly
anything.
In console, right.
And so, like, you're either on the chat or you're not doing anything.
Right.
So, like, I always hear about this stuff, and then, like, you hear the responses and shit. It's just like, oh my God, like, guys, I love you too very much, but if we're gonna play Overwatch on PC,
Don't worry,
I
I'll
might
try
just
to get a full stack.
You can turn off all chat too. You can turn it off, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can.
You can mute individual players.
Because I think that's the one thing that, like, to hear that a Bastion on attack did great on Hanamura is like, oh, that's really reassuring to hear, because one of the things that I've really noticed about competitive is if you're playing someone who's not on that meta list of characters.
Oh yeah, people will, like, say stuff to you.
I want to play Junkrat.
Absolutely.
I think that there's moments where it's like, oh, look, like, this team is clearly clustered together. Boy, it would be upsetting if Junkrat was around.
Oh.
Too bad I can't play Junkrat.
Sure, but, like, but the thing is the problem is that, I think Junkrat needs to get a buff. Maybe, I don't know how it is on consoles or whatever, but, like, Pharah is, like, almost always, like, objectively a better hero in that situation. If they're all clumped up, you can just use a Pharah and shoot rockets at them and, you know, do just as much damage more reliably than Junkrat. I mean, like, that's the thing, like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, just to let you know, Pharah's better on, like, I feel like Pharah's better on consoles because snipers can't get her. And I hear that is a problem on the PC.
This is why you need Torbjorn for AA.
Well, I mean, like, snipers aren't very in fashion in PC anyways, because Widow got nerfed so hard that she's not very viable. You don't see her all that much.
I don't understand that at all. I don't understand why she would get nerfed. Her whole mechanic is that fucking rifle. I mean...
Yeah,
like, initially she was, like, a bit too strong. Like, she would one-shot Zenyatta to the body. Yeah,
she would body shot Zenyatta in one hit, and that's just not fair. It's just, you know... Now Hanzo's the goddamn monster on the field now.
Yeah.
Oh
I still
my God, I hate
whenever
Hanzo.
I see a Hanzo.
Yeah, I hate Hanzo so much. But anyways, but, like, okay, so I get the whole thing of you want to have, you, like, you know, you want to play the hero that's fun to play, ideally, right? But I mean, like when you get into competitive, like, and I guess it just kind of depends on where you end up being placed. Like the higher you go, the less the non-meta is gonna fly. You know what I mean? Like right now the meta on PC is very much 2 healers, 2 tanks, 2 DPS.
No,
Either that
same
or you run
thing.
3 tanks and 3 healers.
Yeah.
What's
I
that?
hear that's a new movement going on right now.
What, three tanks, 3 heroes as well? Yeah, I've done that too with some pretty good success. And so like, you know, like if we have like, you know, only 1 healer and somebody like instant locks in, like the 6th player like instant locks in, like, you know, I don't know, like say like a Torbjorn or something like that, and I'm gonna be like, hey, like, can we get a second healer? Like, not to that Torbjorn in particular, but like, hey, like, let's get this 2. Let's at least get the 2-2-2 going. You know what I mean?
It's it's the most stable
right
team
role
comp.
balance. Yeah, exactly.
I guess it's just like when I understand the setup for this for like the 2 tanks to support to heal, or 2 tanks to support to 2
DPS.
tanks. DBS, fuck. Okay, yeah. I think it's just I mean, I know that defense heroes are kind of fucked when it comes to that. I understand because they don't do enough. Like all like the flankers can do you know, if they're good, are like indisposable. The tanks are the same way, and like if you have really good healers, like that's great, but the defense heroes are so oddly situational.
I think the problem is that the defense hero, or the offense heroes just have an overall higher skill ceiling than the defense heroes do. So like to your point, like somebody who's really good can do more with a soldier than they can do with a Mei. You know what I mean?
And
Granted, it's like a lot of the heroes are sort of like mistyped. Like, you know, Symmetra should probably be a defense hero rather than support.
Absolutely.
And like
Yeah.
Roadhog should probably be like a
DPS.
defense hero or like an attack hero. Some kind of DPS
Yeah,
rather
not
than
a
tank.
tank. Right.
I feel
yeah.
like as if we get more heroes, like they'll probably switch some stuff around. But the point is that I understand why the meta is the way it is. It's just there's some moments in the game where it's like if we just like it's classic hero countering, you know, where it's like one of the first things they ever teach you in this game is when you're starting off and you see Bastion, it's like, hey,
Go Genji.
yeah, there's probably, you know, this is you know, hero counter 101. And when you're in the meta, you don't do hero switching as often, but there are so many times, especially during those placement matches, where it's like, okay, like we're playing on Ilios, right? And all 5 of those guys are just yucking it up in the objective. And there's a moment where it's like, you know, there's 2 things that are fucking us up. Like, well, 1, we're going single file into this death trap. And number 2, like, none of our heroes are gonna be good at dealing with a group of 5 people. Like,
I would say Junkrat's actually pretty good on like capture point maps.
Like, well, that's kind of where I'm coming from, where it's like there are certain moments in a game where I have the thought, because normally I'm playing Zenyatta. This is essentially what it does. That's my role I wanted to do in competitive. I wanted to be a healer. I wanted to be Zenyatta because I feel like the Discord Orb is a super useful tool for my allies, you know? And we're doing this Ilios map, and it's the one where the objective's inside a building. And it's just they are creaming us hardcore. And all I can think to myself is, man, I really wish that like someone would switch to a hero that could deal with this. Or man, I really wish that, like, you know, I wish Pharaoh was here, or I wish, you know, some high damage dealers are here, or maybe Junkrat, or, you know, someone who can deal with groups easier. Like, I feel like, I don't know, and the thing that I'm describing sounds maybe almost like too specific of a situation.
I mean, I get
No,
what you're
not
talking
necessarily.
about. It's like those situations
Yeah.
where you're locked into a role that's essential for the team, but you don't see other people filling a role that's also
Right.
important.
No, I felt it many times.
It's like I pretty much main tank in Overwatch competitive, and we'll get, you know, those queues where we have like a single healer and it's like an Ana or a Zenyatta and they can't heal by themselves. And I asked
Right.
for another healer, and it's like I'm a tank already, and then the 4 other people are like DPS characters, and it's like, so why don't you switch? Or that feels
Right.
like what they're saying to me, and it's like,
Come on,
dude,
tank,
man,
switch,
we're going
says
to
McCree.
get like
Right.
wiped across the floor because we'll be too squishy if I switch off.
I feel like team comp is a really big deal in like, well, in all of Overwatch. I think that team composition is super important. But I also feel that like it absolutely sucks when people aren't willing to take those, you know, this, I can't tell you how many times it's like I'm in the mood to play Tracer, right? And we'll be on King's Row, and I'm like, I'm gonna play Tracer because I love Tracer. I think she's so cool. And then like everyone will pick a character, and then I'm like, oh, there's no tanks. All right, last person who hasn't picked, why don't you pick a tank? Oh, it's Genji.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you look at his career profile, and then Genji, he has Genji for 30 hours and Hanzo for 15. And then McCree for
And
20
his
minutes.
username is Ichigo Umazaki.
Yep.
And
With all those XXX.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Little
Like,
69s on
hyphens.
each end of his goddamn username. No, so like, so then there's that moment where it's like, oh well, I guess I'm not gonna have like, okay, is it this way on PC too, where it's like if you pick a hero first, you kind of have that like, you know, like, okay, I picked my role. now you.
I mean, people look
Yeah,
down on
there's
it.
there's kind of
Like,
like
people
People
rule.
generally acknowledge that it's a bad thing if you just go, like, as soon as you like load into the game, you know, you buy an SSD so that you load into the game the fastest out of anybody, and you just auto log a hero. People generally understand that's bad.
I don't know. I've gotten into the habit of like hiding my picks almost, like when I want to pick like a Zenyatta or something like that, because like I like Zenyatta, right, with another healer. I don't think Zenyatta is a very good solo healer. So in competitive,
as
right?
someone who plays him, he's not.
Right.
He just can't heal
but
people
the thing,
fast enough.
right? But the problem is that at least in quick play and like in the early competitive games like season 1. You would log in Zenyatta, and then it wouldn't give that indicator. Like once you pick Zenyatta, it won't give the other teammates no healers indicator, right? So I would lock in like an offense character, like Soldier or Tracer, and wait for someone to go into a healer, and then pick Zenyatta.
Oh gosh!
So I could just to ensure
Just
that I had a
juke them
second
out.
healer going.
I should start doing that.
You have to juke the picks exactly.
God.
That's what you gotta
It's
do.
like,
That sounds like some stand logic there, where you trick
logic.
someone.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
more
well, then I
important
get to
for
play
healers,
Zenyatta.
but it's like,
And then we fucking dunk on him, dude. Yeah, it's great.
Oh my god! Like, well, that's so. You guys didn't see the stream, obviously, but like, one of the things that kind of got me was like, so it was me and Strider. Strider was playing Lucio, and I was Zenyatta, and we did okay, but then we would just lose. Like, there's moments where it's like we tried grouping up, we would go in, and everyone would just start dying, and it's.
I mean, the supports can't do anything by themselves if like the rest of your team isn't all that great, like, or not coordinated, and you're just 2 people playing supports. It's like, God bless your souls. It's like you're doing God's work, but at the same time, you can't win the game by yourselves.
You just can't carry.
I know it felt like I think that's the reason why like we got so like salty.
Like
by
you
the
guys
end of, like-
exist to facilitate other people doing well.
Right. And I mean, it's an understandable thing. Like, so many other people have felt it where it's like they'll be doing well. Like, I get salty about this. Like, I'll be getting 4 gold medals, and my team just won't be. I'll be popping off Reinhardt ults and like stunning 4 people, and my team will just be dicking around, not following up
Wait,
and
do you
stuff.
play
It can
a
be
lot of
very
Reinhardt?
frustrating. I'm trying to get better with Reinhardt. Diva was probably my main tank, but I've been getting better results with Reinhardt just because he fits into more comps.
Give me
you
your
know what I
battle
mean?
tag
So-
because, man, like, I'm a Zarya main. Like, if I can get her.
Oh, okay.
Like,
All right.
I consider myself not terrible with Zarya. And just
Yeah, okay.
humble brag.
I could do with a not terrible Zarya on my team. That'd be great.
I could do with not shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think the thing that I have to work on, and that I feel like a lot of people have to work on, is trying to find the fun
in losing, because like winning a competitive game feels awesome. It feels just as good as winning like 5 quick play games.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really
it's
good.
Like when
it feels really good.
When your team just clicks, it's like, oh,
yes,
it's so easy.
yes.
It's like I'm
it's
moving
so good.
so well.
Like you enter the drifts and you just fucking go, and it's great. It's awesome. And people are like calling out where heroes are.
You know,
like
it's like you're doing that neural handshake, and it's like you're in there with like your Jaegers, and you're just like smashing. It's like shit.
Exactly, dude.
It's like everybody's in sync without anybody else having to say anything.
But then when it just doesn't click, and you just start getting angry,
and
salty, and you start trickling in.
I'll tell you guys a fun Zenyatta story.
Okay.
So we were at Gibraltar the other day, right?
Gibraltar.
Yeah. It's the underneath. You know when you start off on attack and they have that little underneath part, and you have
the underneath the bridge. Yeah. Okay.
So I was Zenyatta, and like so what would happen is someone would go in, right? Like let's say like Roadhog, and like Roadhog would start attacking and be like, oh cool. So I throw my Harmony Orb, and then I'd throw a Discord Orb at whoever he's attacking. The minute the Discord Orb goes out, Roadhog's like, oh no, I'm at 400 health, time to heal up. So then he walks away, and then that guy kills me. And so I'm like, okay. So then I go out again, and I'm like, all right, well this time I'll give it to a DPS, and I give it to Tracer. So, and I'm like, all right, Tracer, go get him. And then I throw the Discord Orb at Hanzo, and then I see Tracer think about it for a second, and then recall, and then just disappears out of sight, and then Hanzo headshots me. Like, this happened like 3 more times, and then there's that moment I had the realization with myself, like, am I a bad healer? Is that what happened here? Did I like? You
can't heal stupid. You can't heal stupid.
Like it's every time I would throw a Harmony Orb, that was almost as if telling someone, "Oh, it's time to run. It's time to run away."
It means you're in danger because I'm healing you.
It doesn't do you guys play healing at all?
I do.
Yeah,
I play Zenyatta. I play a lot of Mercy.
Pulled, like tanks, I'll like play like Lucio Mercy.
I was gonna say, one of my favorite things about playing like Mercy is like the idea that like you fly in to heal someone and then they start running away, and so then you just turn your head a little and there's another Reinhardt right about to smash you in the face. Like,
yeah, I've done that to my own Mercy a few times. One of my good friends mains Mercy, and he's like Andre, don't go. and then it all goes down south.
Oh my god! Like it's one of those feelings that like ever since I got really into Zenyatta, it's so
being a healer is hard,
real.
man.
It's so fucking real. It's rewarding as fuck, because you feel like you may not be doing the most damage, but you're doing like a good support. You're supporting the team.
Like, people don't seem to realize how important supports are. Like, they literally changed how like you had to fight a team fight. It's like you have Mercy on your team, suddenly the opponents have to make sure to kill her before anybody else.
Oh my god, because her res is just so strong.
God,
it's like, as Zarya, sometimes I take on like Genji's job when I see like a Mercy sort of like far forward, and I go, oh, I see you, I want your ass. And I just dive in, and usually I die because of it. I get really greedy.
Well,
I think that's a lot of my problem that I've been trying to struggle with, in that like I'll just clear out the team, and then Mercy will just pop in. She'll literally just fly through and res 4 people, and I'm like, god damn it!
I
hated
Mercy so much that it's like I literally got the Zarya like voice line, no mercy.
Oh jeez.
And it's like, I've Graviton surged, and like my team's like flown like 3 ults on it and like killed everybody, and then Mercy pops out, and it's like, heroes never die. And they come out and like own us.
God, I think God, Mercy, post patch, she's really, I mean, she was a solid hero before, but like I'm seeing her a lot more often now.
Oh yeah.
Like it's really there. Like she's such a good hero, and that res skill is like, the other healers have like something, don't get me wrong, like obviously Lucio has the big boost to your health. Zenyatta can save people from ults, essentially. Symmetra creates a teleporter. I'm not exactly sure how that like saves people's lives, but it's still a good skill.
Oh, it's a great skill.
And then Mercy's is like fucking insane. When a good Mercy does that, it's just
It's like good Zens and good Mercies pretty much save the team.
I've seen a Reaper on oh my god, the Lijiang Tower, like will go in and does his ult, and then Mercy comes in and reses them all, and it's just you can feel it. You can feel that Reaper just get so goddamn mad.
Yep.
Because he probably
just feel the salt.
He probably just got play of the game, and then it was just stolen from him by Mercy.
5-man res, go.
Christ.
Ugh.
Anyways, guys, so it's interesting to hear that your guys' competitive experience is how it's going in the way it is.
I think competitive is definitely best played with 1 or 2 people.
With friends. Yeah, at least 1 or 2 people. Just try not to get too salty. I mean, like you just gotta roll with the punches, I guess. You know.
I just gotta get through these placement matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say just kind of slog through the placement matches because they are really weak. You either I was getting stomped or just totally stomping. You know, once you get placed, it gets really much better. Once you have like a numeric value assigned to your skill, you're like, okay, well, I have something to work with.
It's like I know where I stand, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like it's that initial I want to place really well because it's it's me.
Yeah, like I'm fucking diamond and I know it. Like I just need the game to tell me, you know.
All right, well, we'll tell you what, guys. We're reaching.
I'm a diamond, but the game shattered me.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh, this is your player icon, pink.
Oh.
All right, so we're about reaching the 2-hour mark here again, and we always tell ourselves that these episodes are going to be shorter, and they never are. And so I think it's time that we start closing things up, and let's go to the comment section from last week, shall we?
All right.
Sure.
All right, so we only have 2 this week, but the first one's from Astro Muffin. I'm glad to see that at least one of you heard the news about Blaze Blue from my comment, and that you feel mostly the same way about it as I do. I'll still be hoping for the dub of the extend version, but if not, shit happens, right? Also, as for what anime I've been recently watching, I've been catching a few episodes of Re:Zero here and there. Rem is the best girl, by the way, and psyching myself up to finish Akame ga Kill. I'm not sure my feels are ready though. So is Rem the best girl, guys?
Sorry. Rem is absolutely the best girl, like no question. I'm 2 episodes behind, keep that in mind, but now 2 episodes, because Rem's the best girl. Like I think that's the biggest problem I have with that show is that they try it like the main love interest, like she gets no screen time, honestly, and I'm not attached to her at all. Rem is best girl, done.
I feel like
maybe they'll switch it on you and she'll become the main love interest.
No, that's. I
feel like it suffers from. I don't know if I've discussed this with you, Andre, but I've discussed this with Mitchell. It suffers from the Bleach story structure problem.
Where
you can't say that series names 3 times, or else Ichigo will come in a mirror and kill you.
Okay, I've only said it once, but basically with that series, he and I agree that the beginning of that series was really, really strong. Up until the Soul Society arc.
Everyone says the Soul Society arcs they're the best.
I actually
arc.
like the arcs before it, honestly, better.
Okay, well good.
And so after Soul Society, what we thought would probably be best would have been to stay in the human world for a bit, but they immediately go from being back to an arc with the big bad villain that they introduced in the end of Soul Society, and this arc ends up being really, really long, to the point where it's pretty much as long as the rest of the series before that.
I honest to God think it took 4 or 5 years.
Jesus.
And it pretty much changed the entire nature of the series. Okay. And I feel like Re:Zero is sort of going through that, where it's Amelia, the main love interest, was pretty good chunk of like the earlier part of the series, but once we got to the mansion, it's like the focus changed really dramatically to being like,
Yeah, it really did. It felt like a different show in the mansion. Yeah.
Well, it's about him like sort of being on his own, but it's like
it is.
You don't have as much going on with like the core like premise of the show as it was initially shown to you.
Right. I don't know. I have some more things to say about ReZero, but it sounds like the next comment is going to touch us on ReZero, but so I'll save it for that one.
Okay. Well, let's get to the next one.
That's your cue, bitch.
I guess I'm like, Oh, you're pointing to me.
Yeah.
Library of Alexandria says, "Thank you guys for answering my question and for the advice. That was quite kind. Another great Velvetcast this week. It's good to hear you guys talk about Stranger Things. The science teacher reminds me of high school chemistry teacher. So it's cool to see that character like
high
that.
school chemistry teacher.
Yeah, I wish
like
Mr.
that.
Clark was like our teacher in life. Also, the ReZero was emotionally devastating, but a good recommendation from one of the other Velvetcast. I've never heard of. I guess that also works. No, not to interrupt the comment, just real quick. I guess we are a Velvet cast of characters. I've never thought of it like that.
I guess that's true. I think she's referring to another episode of the Velvetcast because we were mentioning ReZero before.
Oops. Then my bad. I just want Subaru to be happy. Two anime that I've recently watched and would recommend. I've just finished rewatching Noragami and the second season of Noragami Arigato. I loved it, and it was my favorite anime of all time for me. The interpretations of Japanese mythology and the story is engaging and creative. It's got a great mixture of comedy, character, and drama. The Danganronpa 3 anime was awesome, although knowing what happens in the game series prior to watching it. So I will say this: I have been super interested in watching Danganronpa 3 because I did play Danganronpa 1 and 2. Danganronpa is.
You haven't played 3 yet?
Huh?
You haven't played 3 yet?
Oh, 3 is only an anime.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I'm dumb.
No,
right.
dude.
Weird.
It's totally fine. 3 is a direct from my understanding, 3 is a direct continuation off of what happens in oh my god, I'm blanking on it. Despair Girls.
Okay.
Which was like a PS Vita shooting little game that they had.
Okay.
It's definitely a series that I love. I love Danganronpa. It's one of those series that like really surprised me. I have been considering watching the third. What I found is that I give a series time to breathe, and then I can watch it. Like normally I wait till things finish to watch it. Like, to be honest with you, I was half tempted to go on to Netflix and put on Attack on Titan and just watch that for a bit.
Oh man, there are so many better series to watch.
I know.
Right.
It's alright. It's just sort of slow. I guess it's not bad.
The
It's like
better. I like the manga better.
It has better pacing.
I feel like we can't. Like, Attack on Titan clearly has an audience because it's like one of the biggest like phenomenons.
So, like, of all of the anime to make it to mainstream success, I'm happy that Attack on Titan was one of them. To make it. You know?
Absolutely.
It's certainly much better than something like Sword Art Online or something like that. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny, Sora? You say that, but I'm pretty sure Sword Art, despite us not liking it, is mainstream.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it absolutely is mainstream.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It
Like, I'm
didn't break out
comparing
into
it.
like mainstream culture, really.
I'm sorry. I misinterpreted what you said.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would prefer, like, of all the mainstream anime, I like Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is one of the better ones for me.
It's
personally.
like, it's like Sword Art Online is mainstream because, it's like weeb trash.
Oh my god.
No offense to anybody who likes it. It's like, I just call it that because it's like...
To each their own. But
I enjoy, like, weed trash from time to time. Like, I personally think, like, ReZero sort of straddles the line for that, too.
It does. ReZero was really straddling that line. That's why I kind of have a real love-hate relationship with that show.
I've appreciated it, but I've also been really, about it too at the same time.
And on that note, so the reason I wanted to wait for it to bring this up was because this your comment mentioned she just wanted Subaru to be happy, right? This is where I completely differ on why I watch the show. I actually want Subaru to suffer.
You watch him to
like.
Jesus, fuck.
And I'm sorry, because Subaru's a likable character, and it totally makes sense for people to like him and whatever. But for me personally, I started I really don't like Subaru. He's kind of supposed to be the embodiment of kind of like what Kirito's like, the main character, headstrong, kind of, I wouldn't want to say wish fulfilling character, but wants to get the girl and all that and stuff like that, and it's just kind of too stupid for his own good. And then I was kind of weaning off the show a little bit just because he was having so many successes, and then this is getting to kind of spoiler territory, but then the show gets in on it and calls Subaru on his own bullshit and is like, no, you are actually fucking up hard, and then there's a huge string of episodes where he just fucks up consistently. Yeah, he gets smacked down hard, just hard, and it's fucking brutal.
Like Green Lantern hard, or
yeah, harder.
Oh.
And but it makes him a better character, I think. He comes through
it's
that.
He gets smacked down pretty much Higurashi hard.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, it gets really brutal. And I love it. It's great.
You know what? That being said, the comment actually made me think of a really cool question we could ask. In terms of just because I'm curious, is there any what you would consider weeb garbage show that you kind of got really into?
Okay, are you asking us that, or are you asking the
kind
viewers?
of both? I'm asking
Okay.
you guys because first let's describe what is weeb garbage real quick.
I like keeping the definition sort of general because it's more fun that way, actually.
It's more fun that way. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely more fun. What's you can rephrase it as what's your guilty anime pleasure? I guess that you couldn't probably show a person that doesn't watch anime.
Oh, you mean anime?
Ever? Yeah. No. I mean, there's some anime. Yeah, you know damn well I'm damn proud to watch JoJo's, and I will sing its praises to the heavens.
Yeah. JoJo's
is there a JoJo's Society membership card somewhere that I'm missing out on?
There needs to be JoJo's Bizarre Society.
Some kind of secret
totally
society with all these
you mean the
initiation
Speedwagon
rites.
Foundation?
Oh yes.
Yes, the Speedwagon Foundation.
Do you have
It's
to
pretty much the Illuminati.
to read Speedball Run to be part of it or something?
Oh, dude. If you get to part 7, you've already won in my heart, because essentially, because one, I don't know, there's that part of me that's sometimes I feel like I read it too fast, because I don't feel like I really embraced part 5 and 6 as much as I should have. And I actually went back to reread some of part 5 a little bit ago, and it's I can see where people there's problems in JoJo, but there's really good stuff in it. But anyways, back to the question at hand here real quick. What's your anime guilty pleasure? That's a better way of wording it. What is a series that if you had to tell another anime fan that you watched this, they might look at you differently?
Oh, they look at me differently. Interesting. Okay.
I'm just kind of throwing shit out there for shit
Yeah. Probably Kill la Kill for me. I mean, Kill la Kill is really good, and I'm not ashamed to like it, I guess. But that's definitely the hardest show to justify to a normal person if they just watch one singular episode of it with no context.
Oh my god, it wouldn't make any sense. What
the
fuck are you? What? You know what? That is weeb garbage. If you take one
it's
solid
better
episode
than that,
from
though.
that series.
I mean, it's if you take the episode, an episode in isolation, it's something that people would knee-jerk reaction would be weeb garbage.
Yeah. Weeb garbage, but it is. I think it's more than that, though. I think it's more than that.
Dude,
I don't want to say it's more thoughtful.
We could do a whole podcast
but...
talking about how Kill la
Studio
Kill
Gainax and
it is a solid
Trigger.
deconstruction. You know what? How about this? Let's put that. I want to put that on the back burner for next week.
You can just burn the life.
Sure.
I would love to talk Kill la Kill with you guys. That would be super fun.
Sure.
I gotta rewatch it anyway, so I'll watch I'll give it I'll watch as much of it as I can.
We should just
I guess,
Velvetcast and just watch like an episode or two together to figure
Okay.
Important episodes.
So Kill la Kill is your answer though, yeah?
For now, yeah, tentatively. I'll come back next week if I think of something else, but yeah. I don't want to say that like that makes me sound kind of pretentious. I don't know. Like I don't want to say like all of my favorite anime are all high art and no one can dislike them.
I watch, like Mamoru Oshii, Ghost in the
My
Shell.
favorite
and
anime
Pat
is Legend of the
Labor
Galactic Heroes.
that are like super
yeah.
deep, and then I
Yeah.
watched Tekken King Creed because like I can't get enough of Masaki Yuasa.
All right, for real though, Tekken King Creed's pretty fucking awesome. I love that
it's
show. I love that
pretty
movie. But
great.
anyways,
Anime movie.
but yes.
You guys are like
it's
speaking like in a weird language to me at this point, like.
And then
I'm so out of anime at this point that like you guys are naming titles that I'm like, uh-oh.
No, it's like
Oh,
you have to
Tekken King
dig
Creed's not new, but yeah.
sort of deep to get to that stuff.
Yeah. It's real good. Real good.
Well,
What
and
about
then
you, Josh?
it's like I'll watch the anime canon of Evangelion and Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
The anime canon. That's
Hey man,
that's
I'm
perfect.
working through that. I'm trying.
Good luck.
I'm probably going to like have to watch like Angel's Egg sometime soon. But I think the trashiest series that I've watched. So have you guys heard of this series called Monster Musume?
Oh my god.
Something Nichijou.
Oh,
I read the manga.
you know what, Josh?
I know Monster Musume.
You know what?
I know
I
Monster
watched the
Musume.
first episode of it, and it's like, holy fuck, it looks really fucking good.
I mean,
Like,
if we're talking about the
production
trashiest show I've watched an episode of, it would be High School Dead.
Oh.
But I never finished it.
I mean, I heard High School of the Dead was
forgot I read
honestly
that.
like, pretty entertaining. And like
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
stupid fan service, like, oh yeah, you just like don't really think about it shows.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
show, that is Monster Musume though, yeah? That's
No, Monster Musume is so fucking.
it's
Yeah, it's one of
oh
those
my God.
concepts that I thought it would take a lot longer for it to become a thing. Honestly, that like you see in mainstream anime.
I've seen screenshots of it like throughout. Like anytime anime is mentioned nowadays, it's something that gets brought up, and I mean it does well here in the States. I think the volumes do pretty well.
Oh yeah, the Snake
so-
Girl is like the cutest character.
I don't know.
Oh no, you've got somebody else in mind.
I don't know. I feel like my blue hair bias. Like-
You're after the harpy.
Oh my
aren't you?
god, guys! Can we not make this a Monster Musume cast? I don't want to do this.
I'm just thinking.
I
I
don't
don't
wanna
know
do
the names
this.
of the characters or anything, but like I saw.
I'm scared.
Okay, fine. We'll back away.
No.
We'll save that for the Halloween cast.
See,
Where we'll pregame some of that show for the Halloween
I will
cast,
watch
and then
like
that'll
some
be
really
a thing.
trashy series.
If we're gonna talk about it, I will watch some Monster Musume, so I'm at least
No,
educated.
we're all gonna watch it
It's-
together.
It's something where I
all
was
gonna have
surprised at the
alcohol.
production qualities for that show.
I've heard it's actually not bad. I've heard
Like
that it's
it's
pretty good.
entertaining. It's
but-
not anything. It's not like the magnum opus
not
of
high
some
art,
like
but-
famous
Yeah,
like
sure,
anime
sure.
director. It's not like Shinichiro Watanabe like made this after making Space Dandy.
I'm not gonna lie. Like my choice for this would actually be like. God, okay, I'm gonna go back here a bit because nothing I'm gonna say is gonna be modern or anything.
No,
That's fine.
it's like
Dokuro-chan was the trashiest series I ever watched.
Dokuro-chan?
Oh,
that
God.
series.
Oh my god, Sora, go look it up like right now.
Oh no, I'm looking at it right now, dude.
it's-
Oh.
So there's a story with this.
Oh.
So what happened was Rhyme and I hung out after school one day, right?
This is a rhyme series, really?
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
We were at the local exchange game exchange shop, and they sell some anime
Sure.
there every now and then. And I used to make this point of where whenever I got some money, I would buy an anime DVD. And Rhyme had said that she was going to get it this time, and so she ended up picking up Dokuro-chan. And we watched the first episode, and within the first 2 minutes, she looks at me and says, "You can have this, Mitchell." And it is really bad. I mean, I can see why people would like it, but it is garbage, in my opinion. It is so trashy. It is so especially because get this, the DVD is an American DVD, and it had the first DVD is everything that was in season 1, and then the second DVD is season 2, and season 2 is like, I think it's like either, it must be a collection of OVAs or something, because it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm looking on my anime list, and it looks like season 1 is an OVA series of 4, and season 2 is 2 OVAs.
Oh my god! So it is garbage. Honest, like I mean, the thing is,
I'm pretty sure they had like a Dokuro-chan reference in Durarara too.
No, there is a Dokuro-chan reference in Durarara, and there's also one in Fighting Climax.
I mean, it was interesting to go back to Durarara and find it, like, actually realize that there is like a Bacano reference in it too.
Oh my god! So like it. Anyways, the point is that I think that honestly is the trashiest series I've ever watched, and I can't believe I watched the whole thing.
You know, if we get into like series that we've read, I could probably come up with some shit.
Josh, you already mentioned your answer earlier today. You already mentioned the person who went on sexual hijinks by showing his ass to people, and then they would want to have sex with him.
That's a serious series.
What?
Oh, did you not catch that part, Sora?
Oh yeah.
When Josh was
talking
talking
about the
about
series that I recommended to him, that was like he can't take seriously.
No, after that, I cannot take any recommendation from you ever again. I cannot do it again.
I see. So that's the thing that did it.
Josh, we've been friends for almost 10 years now, and I can honestly got to say I respect your decisions and your opinions. I really do. But dude, we just differ on a completely different level when it comes to these things, and that is okay. That is so okay.
It's great, even. It's beautiful, even.
like that's the thing, right? All of us are kind of into different things, but we do have things that we have in common, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like it all works out fine. But Josh, I swear to God, when you recommended that to me, and that's the problem. I didn't read like 10 chapters. I read like 30. Like I got in there.
You got all up in that.
I tried so hard to see where you were coming from, and I will admit there was like a couple good moments in that manga. There are some actually genuinely good moments where I kind of felt like, where it's like, oh wow, this got sad, or oh god, this got really depressing really fast, and there's no emotion or meaning to the sex he's having. That was a really good moment, but it took way too long to get there. And like by the time I did, I was like, you know what, I think I'm done.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. It's something where the author pretty much took like an out there premise and just ran with it.
Anyways, that being said, I think I'm pretty sure that's it for the podcast this week, guys.
Oh man,
because
I'm spent.
we have been going on. This is now I'm not sure if I'm
I think we just made it to the longest episode.
This is a 2-hour episode. All right, yep. So guys, just to recap for you real quick, if you guys are interested in the channel and the show that we do, go ahead and click like, give us or subscribe or whatever, and if you guys want, totally respond with this week's. Let's try to do that. Let's try to ask a question at least once a week about something.
Sure.
Yeah. What's the weeb trashiest anime that you've ever watched?
Anime guilty pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your anime guilty pleasure?
I mean, we could say Rosario plus Vampire.
I think.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I think you have to. I think for this answer you have to like the show. You can't just watch one episode and drop it. It's just.
You have to like kind of shamefully like the show.
I mean, you don't have to be ashamed.
Yeah.
You can self-judge and say, yeah, this is probably weeb trash.
Oh, well, I guess my answer doesn't count. Because I didn't like Dokuro-chan.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we're done. We're done with this episode. So anyways, wow, that must sound really weird when I'm just like, yeah, this is a really garbage show. And
This is garbage. I don't recommend it. Don't watch it.
It's
Seriously,
Dan
I'm going to
DeVito,
say
I'm
its
the
name
garbage
again,
man.
like twice, so that you can hear it and like write it down, so you can
Right.
watch it later. Don't watch it.
Don't watch this show.
Ugh.
Anyways, guys, yeah, so that's the end of the podcast. Like, subscribe, all that junk. If you're actually watching this on Tumblr, which you have kept this open for 2 hours on Tumblr, congratulations. Give us a follow and stuff. Also, we're going to try to slowly move away from Twitch and go more into the YouTube streaming side because it's easier to save the videos that way, honestly. And we might be able to archive them a little better. So yeah, so next time on The Velvet Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right.